Hi everybody, today I'm doing an example of finding the equation of a hyperbola. This is a grade 11 level question because we do have a vertical asymptote of x equals 1. In grade 10, you won't get an asymptote like this. All right, in grade 10, the y-axis is always your vertical asymptote. So this is for grade 11, but grade 10s, you can listen up and then you have a head start for next year. Now, before you find the equation of any graph, it is very important that you know what the standard form of that graph is. Some teachers use a over x plus p plus q. If that is the case, then please do what your teacher has taught you. But I always use the standard form y equals a over x minus p plus q. Now, what p is the x asymptote. So that value of the x asymptote 1 is going to go in the place of p. And what q is our y asymptote. So the value of that y asymptote, -1, that is going to go in the place of q. So just by looking at that, we already have that our denominator has to be a over x minus 1 and then -1 for that q value as well. Now guys, if you are unsure about why I have a -1 here at the bottom, but this is +1, remember that your asymptote, your vertical asymptote in this case, is where your denominator of your fraction, your x minus 1 here, is going to be equal to 0. Because guys, if you have anything over 0, then that is undefined. So if you have y equal to a over 1 minus 1, then that is 0, and that will make the whole equation, the whole graph, undefined, which is where x is equal to 1, that is where we have our asymptote. All right, so for your denominator in your equation, you always have to make sure that it has a different sign from what you actually have as your asymptote. That's very important. For your q value, that always has the same sign as in your equation. All right, so here we have a -1 in the equation of our asymptote. We also have -1. Now, to get the a value, which is the last variable, we are going to have to sub in the other point that they've given us, which is 2, 0, and solve for a. So at this point 2, 0, our y value is 0, so I'm replacing y with 0. That is equal to a over x minus 1, but x is now 2, so that becomes 2 minus 1 minus 1. I'm just going to simplify this. 0 is equal to a over, now 2 minus 1 is just 1. So that actually is just going to give us a, and then we have a -1. Now if I'm wanting to solve for a, what I need to do is the opposite of subtracting 1, which is adding 1. So a is going to be equal to 1. So that means that the equation of this graph is y equals 1 over x minus 1, which we got from the x asymptote, and -1, which we got from the y asymptote.